So today we're going to talk about one of these cities that I don't really talk too much about, but we're going to talk about it today, which is Durham, North Carolina. This is a place that does have a lot to offer. So although we talk a lot about Raleigh here, I don't want to minimize or at least leave out Durham out the equation, because it is a place that may be really compelling to you for whatever reasons. I'm going to go over some of these reasons today why it could be compelling to you. So stay tuned to hear about those. But there are two reasons that either make or break a lot of people's decisions. So you're definitely going to want to hear those. Now, if you're new to me and this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on anything. But also, I am a licensed realtor here. So if you need any help or any assistance with your relocation needs, just reach out. So the first on this list is the affordable living that I have here. Now, again, when we're comparing apples to apples, or at least Raleigh to Durham, really there isn't that big of a significant price difference in terms of affordability wise. So what you get in Raleigh in terms of pricing, you're 9 times out of 10 going to get in Durham. Now, of course, it may be a little bit of a difference depending on what you're looking at, the area, and of course what you're even looking to purchase. But for the most part, they're all going to be around the same ballpark. So for all of you northerners that are watching this, or for wherever you're watching it from, thinking, all right, are you still going to get a bang on your buck? You are in comparison to in the north, because up north is in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, like all of you guys are experiencing a lot of a different market than what is going on here. So I won't touch upon the cost of living too much, just because, again, I've made several videos. I've talked about this in the past, and it's a lot different from other cities because, again, Raleigh is not like a big major metro city, I would say. It's more of a mid-size, so you're not going to get all of what comes with those bigger cities. But something that you will get is a diverse food scene. I mean, I have here on my notes a lot of different foods, restaurants. Of course, you're going to experience that. And I will say it's a little bit more, I think, in terms of options in Durham, because Durham isn't as large as Raleigh. But in comparison to that, the area that you're in, you're going to have a little bit more diversity and a little bit more of close range and proximity to each other. Whereas Raleigh, it's all spread out. You're going to have to go maybe to Cary, Mooresville, or Apex, or maybe Wake Forest just to get a specific type of feel, whereas in Durham, you'll have everything a little bit more nearby. So if you are a foodie or someone that just likes to try food, definitely go ahead and check out Durham. Not to minimize what Raleigh has to offer, but of course today's video is all about Durham, so definitely check out what Durham does have to offer. As we get closer to those two reasons that typically make or break anyone's decision, I want to touch upon a few other reasons first, which is the outdoor recreational. So North Carolina as a whole does this great, and I can't really speak for the entire state of North Carolina, but at least for those areas that I visited, they do a phenomenal job with offering a lot of different places to go to hike, go on trails, lakes, parks, greenways, bike trails. I mean, you name it, you're gonna have it. And of course, being in an area where majority of the year it's nicer out for you to enjoy that, you have the ability to maximize your opportunities to be outdoors. I mean, one of the big parks that they have is Eno River State Park, which you can go ahead and check out. But you can't also forget, being in Durham, you're close to one of the most prestige schools, which is Duke University, that has their own sort of museums and things like that you can definitely check out. But enough about what is there to do outdoors. Let's not forget that Durham is going to give you more of a historic feel. In fact, you'll have historical sites to even preview and check out as well. I mean, I can share from my personal experience, which was the very first time I went to Durham, which was years ago when I first experienced it. It was one of those, it was a little bit of a different feel in comparison to Raleigh. I think, Durham was a little bit further behind in terms of modernization, but still gave me that good feel. Definitely a place I would always go to check out, especially if you're in that downtown area. I would definitely say check that out. Of course, a downtown area is going to typically tell you a lot about the entire area as a whole. But one thing that you'll see is a lot of the city is architecturally structured very similarly. And quite frankly, they didn't let it go. So you'll have that to live with. If you're an individual that loves historical feels and things like that, and you need an area or a neighborhood that gives you a little bit more of a historical feel, you see that number that is popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends, and let me know so that I can make sure to find those areas for you, and we can go ahead and continue that search and make sure that we can get you into those neighborhoods that give you that exact feel. But moving along, this is reason number 5. God, we already got to 5 reasons on why you should be considering or at least thinking about moving to Durham, North Carolina, which is the location. I mean, if you're looking for real estate primarily, you already know location is everything. And Durham right now is one of those premier locations that it's in, simply because, again, our Research Triangle Park, I was going to say RTP. So if you ever hear that, there's just no, they are referencing Research Triangle Park is really close. If not, it's in Durham. Although a lot of talk and conversation goes about Raleigh being, RTP, it's really closest and in Durham for the most part. But since it sits in between Raleigh and Durham, I can understand why, just call it what it is, wherever it is. It's really close to both. But not only that, I should definitely add as an asterisk, though, I say close depending on where you are in Durham, because if you're on the north side of Durham, you're going to be a little bit further away. So if you need to be close to RTP, be more on the south side of Durham, and you should be just fine. But also, in addition to the proximity and the location that you guys are, you are really close to the Raleigh-Durham Airport, which is also known as RDU. So you have a few things that, are nearby you. You have things to do. You have some things to kind of keep top of mind. I can think a lot of things that I talked about earlier are things that you should have already known about if you watched previous videos, but the next 2 that I'm going to talk about are 2 that you're definitely going to want to hear. One of the first ones we're going to talk about is the top-notch education that they have, whether you have kiddos in elementary, middle, high school, or even kiddos getting ready to go to college. And I'll speak a little bit on the college aspect. You have Duke University that is well known. You should already know that that's in Durham, North Carolina. But we also can't forget that Durham also has North Carolina Central University. So not only do you have one school, but you have 2 schools that you can go ahead and take advantage of if you are interested in going to that next level of education. And I don't know about you, but reason why I think this is a really big decision, or at least a make it or break it decision for individuals, is because it could save or break your bank account depending on if you want to do in-state or out-of-state tuition. I hope those that are thinking about it at least experience it, understand, and feel me here, because we'll talk now about the job opportunities here. And of course, as I mentioned, being close to Research Triangle Park, RTP, you're going to have a lot of job opportunities beyond that end. But you also have Duke University to lean on as well. And of course, if you're in the medical field, I think that's where you're going to get a great experience, a great bang for your buck there, because Duke and UNC are honestly one of the top tier places for medical. But in the world that we are in today, technology has taken over a lot, which is really what Research Triangle Park is all about. So if you're an individual that is trying to get into the tech industry, or already in there, just want to enhance or get better, or just kind of go along your career trajectory of improving and kind of moving up the ladders or chains, whatever the case may be, and you're in tech, then check out Research Triangle Park. You'll be very surprised what you may find there. So at this point, you got all of my 7 reasons why you should think about, or why you should move to Durham, North Carolina. If you want additional information or another video on it, I did one recently, not too long ago, which is what you should know before moving to Durham. Go ahead and check that out if you want additional information. However, for those of you who stay to this point, I got a bonus for you guys. So you're gonna have 8 reasons to walk away with at the end of this video, which is the vibrant nightlife. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Raleigh personally is going to hold the crown when it comes to the nightlife, because a lot of individuals travel to this day from Durham to Raleigh just to enjoy the nightlife. However, one thing I will say is I do this myself. When I get tired of kind of going through the day-to-day of the nightlife of Raleigh, I maybe find myself going to Durham to go kind of, revitalize the feeling that I need to maybe miss out on the things that's going on in Raleigh. But I could say Durham has its own thing going on for itself. So if you ever get tired, you can go check that out as well. And let's just say you're a really big person that's into beer, maybe even bourbon and whiskey. There's a lot of breweries and distilleries. That's actually, if you ever find me at a distillery or somewhere in that nature, I'm probably in Durham 9 times out of 10. Now that you heard everything on this list here today, what is your number reason why you would even consider, or why you're thinking about moving to Durham, North Carolina? Let's make sure to drop it in the comments below and let us all know. Just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice and I am a licensed realtor here, and would love nothing more but the opportunity to be able to assist you on your relocation needs. So you see that number that is popping up right there? Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.